Battlefront 3 is one of the most requested Star Wars games of all time, and after the highs and lows of DICE's Battlefront 2, fans are hungry for something new. Battlefront 2 has seen a significant spike in active players over the last few weeks following the high praise for Andor Season 2, and there's been a lot of discussion about a Battlefront 3, but if we're being honest, Star Wars isn't ready. Not yet, because a new Battlefront isn't just about graphics, gunplay, or nostalgia. It's about trust. It's about creative vision. It's about understanding what Star Wars is, and what it can become. So before EA, or anyone, jumps into making a third game, let's talk about what actually needs to happen first. Welcome back to Kybercore. Today, we're breaking down what has to change before Battlefront 3 can ever work, because this isn't just about a game, it's about Star Wars' future. One of the biggest issues with Star Wars gaming in the Disney era, there's no creative spine. Every game feels like it's operating in its own little corner, disconnected from a larger narrative. Fallen Order was great, but did it impact the wider canon? Barely. Squadrons had some solid mechanics, but it felt like a one-off. And Battlefront 2's campaign? It introduced new characters and tried to bridge Return of the Jedi with Force Awakens, but it never really went deep. It didn't change anything. If Battlefront 3 wants to be meaningful, it can't just be a multiplayer shooter with a side of Star Wars seasoning. It has to matter. That means Lucasfilm Games needs a real roadmap. One where games aren't side content, but core storytelling pillars. Tie a Battlefront campaign into the High Republic, set a season during the events of Andor, treat the medium seriously, because Star Wars fans don't want more, we want purpose. Now ask 10 different Star Wars fans what they want from Battlefront 3, and you'll get 10 different answers. Massive battlegrounds? Sure. Starfighter dogfights? Absolutely. A rich single player story? Definitely. Galactic conquest? Yeah. And that's part of the problem. The 2015 reboot focused entirely on multiplayer. Looked incredible, but felt empty. Battlefront 2 then tried to be everything. Multiplayer, story, co-op, player versus player, and despite being great fun, did stretch itself too thin. So what is Battlefront supposed to be? A spiritual successor to the 2005 classic? A live service game like Destiny? A cinematic shooter like Call of Duty? Until the vision is clear, the execution never will be. DICE and EA need to define Battlefront's identity first. Only then can they build a game that isn't just wide, but deep. Now let's not forget the disaster that nearly killed Battlefront 2 before it began. Loot boxes. Pay-to-win heroes. Grinds, measured in dozens of hours. It was so bad, it triggered actual legislation discussions. And while EA eventually fixed the game, and honestly turned it into something pretty special, for many, the trust was broken. That trust just doesn't come back. It has to be earned. And for Battlefront 3, monetization has to be 100% transparent. No loot crates, no gameplay advantages, no shady progression systems. If they want to monetize, do it through cosmetics. And even then, respect the aesthetic of Star Wars. No glowing pink Darth Vader. No Fortnite dance emotes. Think alternate skins from canon. Maul's Mandalore look. Clone Wars Anakin. Cal Kestis with the Scrapper Guild poncho. Let people pay for style, not advantage. And never ever again lock major characters behind paywalls. Star Wars fans are generous, but they're not stupid. Star Wars has exploded since the last Battlefront, and not just on the big screen. We've had The Mandalorian, Andor, Bad Batch, Ahsoka, Tales of the Jedi, and more. Entire eras have opened up, and yet Battlefront still lives mostly in 3 places: Clone Wars, Galactic Civil War, and the sequel trilogy. That's just scratching the surface. Why not include the High Republic, the golden age of the Jedi, with new technology and enemy factions, or give us battles from the unknown regions, Chiss space, Acolyte era skirmishes, or fights involving Thrawn's forces. Let us play as Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati, as Ahsoka, as young Obi-Wan. Give us maps like Navarro, Jeddah, Braca and Peridia. Star Wars has never had more diversity of content, and yet the games haven't caught up. Battlefront 3 could be a platform that grows with the galaxy. It just needs the courage to step outside of the Skywalker saga. If there's one thing modern gaming has taught us, it's that games aren't products anymore. They are platforms. Fortnite, Destiny, Apex Legends, these are living ecosystems. Why can't Star Wars have that too? Battlefront 3 could be that game, but only if it's built to evolve. Drop seasonal content tied to the Disney Plus calendar. Release new heroes when new characters debut in live action. Add campaign episodes that expand the timeline. And let the game become a Star Wars hub, but that means investing long term and launching with a solid base, not something rushed out to meet quarterly goals. Fans will wait. We've waited before. What we want is a game that doesn't just launch great, it stays great. The reason people still play Battlefront 2005? Mods. The reason people remastered maps in Unreal Engine? Mods. The reason Battlefront 2 from 2017 still has a pulse? You guessed it, the mods. But these creators work without official tools. Imagine if DICE or Lucasfilm embraced them, curated community content, integrated modding into the launcher. You'd have a game that evolves organically, that reflects what players really want. EA already has the infrastructure for this. All they need to do is open the gates. Star Wars has one of the most passionate fan bases in media. Battlefront 3 could be the first AAA game that truly partners with its community. Why wouldn't you want that? A new Battlefront is inevitable, but the question isn't when it will arrive, it's how. Will it repeat the mistakes of the past? Or will it become something worthy of the Star Wars name? We don't just need another shooter with lightsabers. We need vision, we need respect, we need a game worthy of fans' precious time. Thanks for watching. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss another discussion.